Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kari and today I will talk about my TV and movie favorites. This video is essentially for me so I can remember my favorites throughout the years, but it can also serve as recommendations. If you haven't watched any of the things in this list, I really recommend you to do so. I will leave all of the links of the IMDb page of all of the movies and TV shows so you can check all the information there. I plan to do this every few months, but now it's the middle of the year. So basically for this year, this is gonna be part 1 and then at the end of the year, part 2. Basically in this video, I will talk about movies and TV shows that I've watched from January to May and why I love them. Last thing I have to say is that I will leave all the timestamps of this video in the description below. Let's start with TV shows. The first TV show that was my favorite is The Mandalorian, especially season 2. I watched season 1 and I loved the beginning and the end, but some of the episodes in the middle weren't just great in my opinion. But season 2 was amazing from beginning to end. Baby Yoda or Grogu is my life. I love him so much. I even have evidence to show you because here he is. But that's not the only aspect that I love about The Mandalorian. I love that it really expands the Star Wars universe and it gives us new content that also connects with the old content that we love. I like the format of the show because it is episodic and you have a different adventure on each episode. We have many great characters. I fell in love with a lot of them. Overall, it's very enjoyable. I really recommend it to you. Of course, more if you have watched Star Wars or at least the movies of the Skywalker saga, because that's what I did. I haven't watched any other content, the Clone Wars or any other show. I will maybe in the future, but for now I just love the main Skywalker saga and The Mandalorian. Next TV show I have to praise in this video because it is amazing. It is my life still. I listen to the songs. I think the humor is great. I just love it so much and I'm so happy that I finally watched the complete show. And I'm talking about Phineas and Ferb. It has amazing music and it is so funny. I really think you'll have a great time because I had a great time. My sister had a great time. It is amazing how this show is very uplifting and it's great to make you happy. At least that's what happens to me. And I have to say that Candace is my spirit animal. I just love her so much. I think she's so dramatic and great. And I also love Ferb and I love Phineas and Isabella. I practically love everyone. I love Doof too and Perry. I think that dynamic is so beautiful. We are not going to talk about how gay it is, but we all know it's gay. If you haven't watched Phineas and Ferb, please watch it. I don't think that it's a TV show only for kids. I think it's for everyone. And especially if you're an adult, I think you will enjoy it even more. Next favorite was just an episode from a TV show. And this is the first episode in Amazing Stories. I watched this on Apple TV with all my family. We loved some of the episodes and others just were okay, but the first one was the highlight of the show. It stars Dylan O'Brien. What else do you need? I really don't think you need anything else on a TV show or a movie other than Dylan O'Brien. Of course, this TV show is all about sci-fi. It's by Steven Spielberg. I love the idea and this episode was amazing because it had drama, a beautiful love story and time travel. We have a cozy and beautiful setting, characters that you will fall in love with, and a story with a magical feeling. If that was interesting to you, I really recommend you to check out this show or at least watch this episode, which is the first one. Then I have to recommend an old favorite that I rewatched recently, and that is Once Upon a Time in Wonderland. I am a Once Upon a Time fan. I've been for a lot of years and I'm very proud to say that I love it and I love Once Upon a Time in Wonderland too. This show is perfect for Once Upon a Time fans and it combines the stories of Alice in Wonderland and Aladdin. The CGI in this show is ugly, I know, but the storyline and the characters are amazing. It has beautiful messages about friendship, family, and love. We have 2 actors from Lost, which is a TV show that I also loved, so I of course love that. This show has a great witty humor and it makes references to Alice in Wonderland, the original novels, and to Once Upon a Time, of course, with Storybrooke and with some cameos of the characters. The next TV favorite is Cobra Kai. This is what I never knew I needed and I love it so much. I watched the 3 seasons with my family. It was amazing. I never watched Karate Kid before. I wasn't a fan. I'm also not a fan of karate as a sport and this show really stole my heart. I think this is how you make a great tribute to an old favorite, because this show has all the good things about the original movies and really brings a lot of heart into the story. Relatable characters that are great, amazing friendships and relationships, great interactions between Daniel and Johnny, which is the best relationship on this TV show. It really deserves everything. I loved everything about it, the love stories and the fights. It's just an amazing show and I recommend it to everyone. I think it will also make you want to practice karate. The show really changed my perspective on karate and on the movie franchise. Now I've watched Karate Kid. I didn't love it as much as the show, but it was a great experience. And the last TV show that was my favorite during this time was Once Upon a Time. I watched the first 2 seasons and they were great. I think if you love Disney movies, if you love fairy tale characters, you should watch this. The first season was very mysterious and dramatic and great to get your attention and to make you love and hate some of the characters. I've got a lot of favorite Once Upon a Time characters. I think they're amazing. Of course, this is not a show for everyone, I have to admit that. But if you watch the first episode and you love it, you will probably love the rest of the show. I think it is an incredible story and I love how it mixes the fairy tale stories with real life problems. We have very well grounded characters, and as we progress with the seasons we'll learn that it's not always good and bad. It's not always black and white, there's always a balance between that. I also love Henry, he's one of my favorite characters. And Rumpel, he's just amazing. I love the actor, I love the character. I think it's brilliant how this show represents him and his story. Season 2 was also amazing. It had many great plot twists and it had one of my favorite characters, which is Bellfire. I really recommend you this show. Please watch it, you won't regret it. Now let's talk about the movies. My first favorite was the sequel trilogy from Star Wars. I know there's people who hate it, but also there's people who love it. I am a fan of the sequel trilogy. I know the Rise of Skywalker wasn't the best thing, but it is still very entertaining for me and I love watching it. I found a new love for Kylo Ren on this rewatch that I did with my family. I found a new love for Rey and for Reylo. I am a Reylo stan and I love them with all my heart. Next movie is Phineas and Ferb Across the Second Dimension. It has the best songs, it is very dramatic and heartwarming, but also very funny and full of epic moments. I think this was just a brilliant idea to make a Phineas and Ferb movie. To see an alternate version of the world that we know, I think everything was amazing. Candace from the Second Dimension was a badass and I am actually in love with her. Everything about it is just perfect, every song is great. I really love this movie so much. My next favorite movie is The House with a Clock in Its Walls. This movie has huge Halloween vibes, I have to admit that, and I didn't watch it on Halloween, but I added it to my list of Halloween movies to rewatch every year. I loved the protagonist, he was very quirky and funny and cute. I usually love the nerd protagonists, the ones who love to read, the ones who love to research and that are very shy. He was perfect and I just wanted to protect him. But apart from the protagonist, this movie has very peculiar characters. We have Jack Black and Cate Blanchett. I think it is very unique. If you like adventure movies, protagonists who are kids and Jack Black, this is the movie for you. Next favorite, to no one's surprise, is Raya and the Last Dragon. The most amazing thing about this movie is the world building. In my opinion, that was amazing and very interesting to see. And this movie is also great because we have the first ever Disney lesbian couple. Yes, you heard that right. That is the first lesbian couple. All those looks were flirting. Yes, I know that it wasn't explicitly said, but in my opinion, this is the first Disney lesbian couple. I gotta admit that this movie had some cringy moments, especially with the baby. My sister hated that. I hated that. But overall, it was a very enjoyable movie and it is here in my favorites. The next movie is actually a franchise and it is The Maze Runner. I rewatched the movies with my sister after reading the books, and let me say, I love the movies a little bit more. Don't judge me, that's just me. I am a very visual person and I love watching adaptations of the books I like. Two great highlights of these movies in this rewatch were that Brenda is amazing. She is everything. She's so beautiful and powerful and badass. I really love her. Her character is so much better here in the movies than in the books. I also loved Gali. Gali is amazing. The actor is amazing. And of course, I love Thomas, Newt, and Ming-Ho. That's a default. I love them a lot for very different reasons and I just think they are amazing and their friendship is so beautiful. I gotta say that here, like in the book, Thomas is always suffering. No matter what he does, he is always suffering and losing friends. That is just so sad. That kid needs a hug. And next thing is going to be a spoiler, so skip to this part of the video so you don't hear it. One funny thing for me, a hilarious thing for me, is how they changed practically everything from the books, but they kept Newt's death. I know that's dramatic and a very important and crucial part for the story, but I mean, if you change everything, why not change that? Newt didn't deserve that at all. I think it's very unfair and horrible. I'm always crushed when I watch The Dead Cure. That's why it's not my favorite film. I think it is amazing overall, but Newt's death really overshadows that, and it makes me very sad. Lastly, I gotta say that with this rewatch, I discovered that my favorite movie is The Scourge Trials, which is very curious because that's my least favorite book. And the last movie that is my favorite is Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas. This movie is epic, honestly. I just love it so much. It has great humor, great characters, epic moments. This is one of my favorite movies from when I was a kid. I remember that I used to go rent this movie with my father. It was amazing. And watching it after so many years was very rewarding, and it brought me so much happiness. Well, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and share it with your friends. If you like my content, you can subscribe here to my channel. I upload videos every week about movies, TV shows, and books. Here on the screen I will leave some videos for you to check out, and I will see you next time.